Hello everybody, so welcome to our annual summer fodder beet update. We are a little bit later than normal, but the crop went in later, so hopefully it's kind of about the same stage as normal for the midsummer update, but we're now middle of August. But never mind, can't do nothing about it. I was hoping to film a little bit earlier than this evening, but we've just had quite a heavy hours worth of drizzle, which isn't ideal because we do have a little bit of grass cut, but I can't tell you about that because you haven't seen a video yet. That will be coming out on Sunday, so you should subscribe, so that you don't miss it. So yes, that's Sunday's video. I'm actually halfway through editing it when the sun came out, so I've rushed off to film this and I will go back and edit in a minute. So it's all go. So like I say, we just had some drizzle. So I'm hoping the fodder beet isn't above welly height, otherwise I'm going to get wet. I haven't seen the beet for several weeks, so it's going to be as a surprise to me what's here as it is to you. So we're nearly there. Let's have a look. So I can confirm it is substantially above welly height, so I'm going to get pretty wet. Never mind. What you need to do is give the video a thumbs up or a like, whatever they call it, and make it worth my while getting wet. It's looking okay. Okay, so here's a bit of an overview of the crop. It's pretty even. It's a little bit weedy. Straight ahead is a bolter. Talked a little bit last year about bolters. I can actually see quite a few. The camera's maybe not showing them. Another one just here somewhere. Yeah, so we discussed bolters last year. Had a few comments come in about them as well, which is nice. I learnt stuff. Weed wise, pretty clean. I can see there is some fat hen, but we always get fat hen. We never seem to get total control of it, and it always looks worse at harvest once the fat hen has matured and gone black. It really sticks out against the green of the crop. But looking at it, looking at the growth, plenty of leaf on it. Now, we never spread nitrogen fertilizer on the crop. All we put in is muck and slurry that goes in the seed bed. So the reason for not putting nitrogen on, when we've done it in the past, it usually just tends to send up a whole load of leaf, doesn't benefit the root. Obviously we're growing this for the root, and you need leaf to make the root grow, but when we did it before, it tended to put a lot of leaf on without the benefit of growing the root. So we haven't done it for a number of years. I don't know how long since we put fertilizer on, but we've never had a poor crop through not doing it. We tend to put the money into the spray rather than the fertilizer throughout the growing season. So we're just on the headland now. If you cast your mind back to the drilling video, we drilled into not two halves, but we drilled. What did we drill? Three? I think we drilled 3 times around the headland and then pulled out just because it was a bit too sticky. So what I'm going to do, I'm off the headland now. I'm going to go and find those. So during the drilling video, you could see the week's difference. When we came back and drilled the main bulk of the field, you could see that week's difference because the first ones were just poking through. So here we are now on. Okay, so this is the first run of the headland that I drilled and then pulled out. We've got a gap here because I ran out of seed. So the headland is here with the field working away. This little bit, I just drilled this right at the end just to fill the gap. And you can see I had one seeder unit had run out. So we've got gaps all the way across. So here it is. So this is a week. This crop has a week's advantage over this. I can see a definite height difference to this one. The camera may not be picking it up, but let's look at the root. I am officially wet as well. Yeah, so there we go. Right, root. Look how wet it is. Everything's soaking wet. Right, let's pull a weed out. Let's get rid of him. Plenty of moisture underneath. This one is actually, this first run is not the variety I'm looking for. This is a bit of last year's variety left. Last year's seed left. Let's brave it and go into the wetness and find a... Right, here we go. This is this year's variety. So this is Blaze. This is what we're growing. As you can tell, red skin variety. So you can see the root with a massive amount of leaf on it. That is too much leaf really, but for middle of August, a root that size, not that impressive. Let's look for another. So this, where we are now, this is that week later, slightly less leaf. Oh, that's a better root. Okay, so what I think this is showing, I don't think the difference is that weak, but what it's showing, look, is a beet that grows a massive amount of leaf has a smaller root, to the beet that has a more sensible amount of leaf has a much larger root. So that's kind of a good indication of what happened the last time we put nitrogen fertilizer on. We got a lot of leaf and not a lot of root. So this isn't really proving what I was hoping. It's not proving a difference in the weak drilling rate, but it's showing what happens when you get a lot of leaf and a small root. But actually this one, quite happy with this for the stage of growth. We're not going to even think about harvesting this till early October at the very earliest. So we've still got a good 6 weeks, 2 months of growth. Get another 2 months on these, they will be a very sizable root. So I suppose what we ought to do really is see what they taste like. So let's cut the leaf off, and not taking that, I'm not taking the leaf back in the yard to feed to a cow, so we'll leave that here. We'll take the no point carrying that. We'll take the roots back. Feed to a cow. Okay, so we'll do the old disinfection of the knife job on my nice clean trouser. Okay, so we'll just cut the crown off. See that nice red colour inside. There we go. Let's have a taste test. Definitely taste the fodder beet. Not that sweet yet. It'll be sweeter at harvest time. Yeah, it's not much sugar in there yet, but still, yeah, don't really taste of anything yet. Later on in the season they will become very sweet. I guess perhaps the sugar comes later in the growing season. But there we are, looking good. Not too weedy, very wet on the old trouser legs now. So did our June drilling date hamper the crop? Certainly doesn't look like it. It certainly doesn't look like it through looking just at the leaf. You'll see I've stopped here. This is a drilling gap. We always leave a gap, run up with the drill not in the ground, and then start again to give us a clear run with the harvester, because there's no point growing it and running over it. We just as well not grow it and have a clear, easy run to harvest. So that's why that's there. You can see there's a group of bolters up there as well, but not a lot we can do about that. So very pleased with how it's looking. The late drilling date hasn't affected it, and it was well worth leaving it to the early June for drilling. And as you can see, there is very little leather jacket damage, whereas if we'd have gone late April where we normally would, I'm 99% certain we wouldn't have this crop now. I'm sure it would have got eaten. We would have had to re-drill, obviously at expense of more seed, which costs about, I think this seed cost £75 an acre. So to get that, so it's £75 an acre to get that eaten. Very depressing. So that is the reason for leaving it as late as we did. And it's certainly at the moment, looking at that, it hasn't cost us any yield, even though we're still 2 months away from harvest. I'm really happy with the size of that for middle of August. It does look, you wouldn't really be disappointed to harvest that in October, looking at that. But one thing about beet, it doesn't really mind what weather happens, you know, what weather occurs during its growing season. It doesn't really like excessive hot weather, but it tends to cope, and it likes this moist, warm weather. As you can see how much it's grown. This has been an ideal year for it. So again, that's probably paid off. You know, the weather we have had for this year, with our late drilling, you know, the wet time, it has really helped. Probably saved us really. If we'd have planted it late and had a dry time, we probably wouldn't have even had this. But you know, we got away with it. Seems like we got away with it, so that's good. Right, so that'll do. I'm not going any farther because it'll get even wetter. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and come back in October. Well, you've got to come back before October, but we'll be start harvesting in October. Yes, so thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.